Hey everyone, today I got for you a skirmish replay against AI, Crucible mod, Space Marine gameplay. I did a couple matches and I thought this one here was pretty cool. I know the Discord has Crucible multiplayer, but I'm having a hard time getting a good replay and getting a group together. But I will try to get real player matches going. For the meantime, while I'm trying to get a real match going, here's a replay. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start it. I had everything on random, and I had everything set to random, so I had no idea what was going on. I have it set to standard difficulty, so pretty cool. And I started playing a lot of Space Marines just for practice, because I'm really bad at the vanilla Space Marines. I'm really terrible at them, and I still am. So I'm playing Space Marines to practice my, practice my build orders and all that. It's always good to practice your build orders. Now when it comes to computer games like this, I'm not sure if I'll commentate each and every one. I'm still deciding on what to do. The computer does pretty well. Their micro is pretty good. The only problem is they're kind of slow. As you can see here, they're moving around kind of slow. Like, they could use this rush ability and move twice as fast. I could activate the rush on every one of these units and move twice as fast. They're not the best, too many builders. Just way too many builders. I thought this replay was pretty good. I'll tell you guys now, this computer here gets wiped out pretty early in the game. So this is basically a 1v2. So I thought this was a pretty good replay to show off Space Marines and to show off the mod. I don't know if I build any of the new stuff. I really enjoy the new Space Marine building, but it's not like a game changer or anything like that. It's really nice, but all the new units take up pop space, population space. So it's really up to the player. So these bikes here are pretty cheap, and I always make one. They're cheaper than Assault Marines. Taking heavy fire. Here, again, I had no idea what was going on, so I was just trying to figure stuff out. Got Trader Guard here, looking pretty cool. Got that nice armor. Here I got a bit scared because my starting army died. And I always make the commander. I know the commander is 400 points, but it's usually worth it. They heal really quick. And you can just... If you're good at micro, you can just attack, heal them up, and attack again. So if you do make the commander, you gotta have pretty good micro, because 400 points is a lot in any game mode. And because this is a computer match, I do have the graphics. I bumped up the graphics a bit. When I play multiplayer, I lower the graphics, but when it comes to computer, I usually raise it up. And something I noticed is the computer usually gangs up on one computer. Like you'll see here, they're ganging up on this computer here, which makes my life easier. And I always get the commander upgrades, because the Space Marine commander upgrades are actually really good. I never get the Imperial Guard commander upgrades because they're just not that great. They are super cheap though. They're basically free. So it's not the worst idea in the world to buy them. Here I got a skull probe for the stealth suits. And you'll see me go in and out of fights with my brother captain. In Crucible, listening posts are super important. So taking these down is, I mean, one listening post can give you like plus 50. You know, one listening post can give you plus 50 income. So you really gotta, these are super important. So you'll see me go in and out of combat, and you'll see how fast he heals, even starting the game out. Now I am a Chaos main, but I just don't enjoy... Chaos does not feel that great on this mod. I don't know if it's me or what, but Chaos just does not feel good. I enjoy the Corncob Chaos a lot, but I don't enjoy the Crucible Chaos. If that makes sense. So you'll see me go in and out of combat, and my commander heals pretty much instantly. So level 1 units are like a joke. My commander can take out level 1 units, no problem. Now this much damage, they're doing more damage than I can heal. So I gotta fall back here. And I think I use my run ability. So you'll see me run pretty quick. Here are some Assault Marines. Assault Marines are good at any point in the game. They're just a great unit. In most mods, Assault Marines are just too expensive. But in Crucible, I think they're affordable. And they usually pay off. Even if their morale broken, you can still tie up a squad. Which is nice. Looks like, I'm not sure if my commander lives or dies. I did this one a couple replays ago, so I don't remember too well. But I think I do activate the run ability. He's got 86 health. In a minute here, you should be full health again. These acolytes are doing some damage. Nice. And honestly, of all the mods I played, Crucible seems... I mean, it's not balanced, but it's getting there. I think every year it's getting more and more balanced. And I like the direction it's heading. So... my micro of my Skull Probe micro is not the best. So I did lose a couple. I gotta build more Skull Probes. And this computer here did next to nothing. So, don't worry about that one. Here I build the armory. The armory is like super important. Especially for Space Marines. The armory, the Imperial Guard tactical control. Imperial Guard tactical control is pretty much useless. Even fully maxed out guard, tactical control is nearly useless. And here I messed up my micro. I was planning on skull probing this, but my skull probes were faster than my Space Marines. So I lost 2 skull probes in scout squad. So that was a fail on my end. And it looks like I can out heal. It honestly looks like I heal faster than the listening post damages me. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I heal faster than the listening post can hurt me, which is interesting. I always go for the grenade upgrade first. The grenade upgrade is super important. And I always get the crack grenade. The crack grenade is super important. The crack grenade does really good damage to everything. And it's a lot cheaper than buying las cannons. So I usually get the crack grenade. It's really good.
There's not much left. Position secure.
Here I get flamers. I needed AoE damage to deal with the, mass infantry. So it's gonna be flamers against flamers. I built a bunch of mines. I didn't see any missionaries, so I just built some mines. Probably not gonna do anything. The computer always knows where all your stuff is, so these mines probably aren't gonna do anything. Level 2. But yeah, the computer knows where all your stuff is. So if they run into your mines, that's just them being nice. Here I get the plasma upgrade. The plasma upgrade is super cheap. Getting the artifact. The machine cult is an expensive building, so I usually go for the artifact first. And I always get apothecaries. Apothecaries are so good that I would say they're mandatory. You should really get apothecaries all the time. I think you can have up to 3 per squad, which is kind of nuts. You can attach 1 to a squad, and then you can buy 2 more. So you can have 3 per squad, which is pretty nuts. Here I use grenade ability. Not much damage, but the knockdown is super important. Space Marines do more damage than Sisters, but you can see how Sisters has a bigger army. So that knockdown is crazy important. And again, I don't see any missionaries, so I decided to go for infiltration. I decided to infiltrate my scouts, which it took me a couple hours, but I finally figured out that you can actually infiltrate your scouts at the beginning of the game. There's no requirements to infiltrate your scouts, so you can, as soon as the game starts, you can just infiltrate them. It's not. I don't think it's a level 2 upgrade. Here I'm just making really sure that I win this fight. Instead of going back and forth, losing a couple models here and there, I just decided to stay still and just really just double down and make sure I win this fight. Because losing models, these models here are like 90 points each. So I really do not want to lose any models. And I don't attach my force commander, or the brother captain. I don't attach him because he's really my only close range unit. And here my partner gets focus, which actually helps out because now I can, the computer is split across the map, which makes attacking a lot easier. And again, as you can see, the computer is not the best. It's just running into this listening post. So I usually fight it on standard because in team games and on big maps, the computer is actually pretty scary. And the computer always makes anti-vehicle, so if you're not careful, you will lose all your stuff. Like right now I'm making vehicles, but he already has anti-vehicle over here. So it's, you gotta watch out for that. Here I make devastators. Devastators are always good. I do think you need a rhino. You need a rhino if you're devastators. They're just too slow. So it looks like these sisters are upgraded. Got veterans and everything, the superiors. Here I send in my Tech Marine. I wanted to see if he can also heal quickly. So I just send him in. I wanted to see if the Tech Marine can actually fight, because I actually never tried that. In all my hours of playing this, I actually never sent in my Tech Marine to see if he can actually do anything. And he actually survived. So good for him. And that combi flamer, is pretty good, as you saw there. Now that I got my Rhino, I can use my Devastators. Starting to get some healers. My Librarian almost died, which is scary because the Librarian's pretty expensive. Here I'm just clicking over and over again, trying to get them in there. Not what I wanted, but oh well. And I go ahead and put Meltas on the Land Speeders. Land Speeders of Meltas are actually really good. Here my Rhino blows up. But it bought me the time I needed. So not the worst thing ever. And my Land Speeder has a stun, so I can actually turn these buildings off for a couple seconds. So, but I wasn't sure if I did that or not. This Land Speeder has a stun. I can stun these buildings, which is really strong if you ask me. Having a building stun at level 2 is really nice. Land Speeders are actually really good. I'm starting to think that the Land Speeders are better than the Tempest. But who knows? See, there's the Meltas. I think I am getting crack grenades. You'll see some crack grenades here. But yeah, I'm starting to think these Land Speeders are better than the Tempest. Here I lose my Assault Marines, but it's whatever. Assault Marines are useful, but they're not, they're pretty garbage late game. They're only good for decaps. I do think Assault Marines are your go-to decap unit. And here the computer just wipes the floor. This isn't even that strong of an army either. Yeah, it's a pretty weak army and the computer's just absolutely getting annihilated. And here my economy just goes up like crazy. That's the fun thing about Crucible. I think I'm level 2 or 3. Going level 3, alright. Iberian fully healed. The commanders heal really quick, which makes them good for tanking. And here I just go all out on this these buildings here. So I thought this was a pretty good replay because I lost the first couple fights. As you can see here, I recovered. First Dreadnought of the game. I do think Dreadnought spamming is still viable. They are expensive though. They're like 300 power. So as you can see here, I have 700. So they're still expensive. Here I didn't want my expensive Devastators to die. So I do a trick here. I didn't want my super expensive Devastators dying. Even late game, they're still pretty expensive. There you go, took out the... There's the speed boost ability. Took out the... Noviates. I'm starting to think Land Speeders of Meltas are the way to go. It's really effective. And here I got my Tech Marine building these listening posts. You can build these in like 5 seconds by himself. So I figured it'd be easier to send my commander up. And the Tech Marine's actually pretty cheap. He's a pretty cheap unit overall. I do think the Tech Marine's an auto include, because he's just affordable and does a lot. He pays off very quickly. These Tau vehicles are super fragile, so they're not really a threat. And with the crack grenades, they're even less of a threat. Now I'm level 3. I unlocked deep striking. But with the rhinos here, I don't really use deep striking that often. I still think even at level 3 you should make rhinos. They're just so good. So even at level 3 I don't really deep strike that often. Really the only thing I deep strike are new commanders. If I ever get a new commander, I'll deep strike that. And here I put a skull probe on this squad here. Instead of buying it from the listening post, I buy it from the squad. And here there's just a ton of anti-infantry and anti-vehicle. So it's a lot of junk going on. But yeah, at level 2 you can put skull probes on your Space Marines instead of buying it from the listening post. So you can see how my scouts are infiltrated, but they still got hit by those rockets. That's what I mean by the computer knowing where your computer knows where your guys are at. Here I decided to go Dark Angels. Dark Angels are really good at movement. So on a map like this and against Tau, I figured movement was the way to go. When you fight orcs, probably want to go for salamanders. Salamanders has a lot of AoE damage. Oh yeah, and on Imperial Fist, I've been reading a lot of Imperial Fist books, so I forgot to mention that. I am Imperial Fist. I got the jetpack on the Librarian. The jetpack upgrade is... I have mixed feelings about it. As you can see here, my commander is faster than the squad, which makes movement a huge pain. So I have mixed feelings on the jetpack upgrade. Oh yeah, and I skipped the chaplain. The chaplain usually doesn't pay off, in my experience. The chaplain usually doesn't pay off in this mod. He's still a strong unit, but he's paid off less times than he did, so I just don't really buy him anymore. And the Librarian, the smite is just, you know, you can't go wrong with the smite. I will say, I was playing as Imperial Guard, and once Imperial Guard reached level 3, the smite didn't do a whole lot, even against guardsmen and conscripts. So once Guard gets like level 3 or so, Librarian might be like junk. Here my vehicle got stunned by something, and Sisters is out of the game. And you can see the computer building, and he only has a dreadnought right now. The computer's building on my base. And right now I'm just getting stronger and stronger as time goes by. So this is a pretty good win, I would say. I still have infiltrated scouts. For the scout upgrades, you can just pick whatever. Sniper rifles, bolters. You can just pick whatever you want. I don't think it matters a whole lot. Same thing when it comes to Space Marines. You can pick the heavy bolter or plasma. It doesn't really matter. In Crucible, you really want dedicated anti-infantry and dedicated anti-vehicle. So if you decide to mix a match, especially as Space Marines, if you decide to mix a match, it doesn't usually work out. So Space Marines, I usually don't really upgrade them. I usually buy a dedicated unit. Buying a dedicated unit is just the way to go, I'd say. Here I get a Hellfire. Hellfire is to stun the Fire Warriors. So pretty useful. Land speeder goes down. A lot of my scouts died. They died to the turret. And as far as I can tell, Space Marine doesn't have any real vehicle health upgrades. Imperial Guard has like 5 of them, but Space Marine doesn't. So Space Marine vehicles are surprisingly not that tanky, especially when you get to like level 3 or level 4. Space Marine vehicles are just not that tanky, like, at all. Here another Skull Probe. At this point, they're free. I got plus 300 wreck. So at this point, Skull Probes are just free. Got the Command Squad. I got mixed feelings in Command Squad. Oh yeah, and you'll see here, these land speeders were actually not good enough to take out this listening post. They didn't have enough damage. But as you can see here, these land speeders on the ground, they actually do enough damage to take these buildings out. So I actually do think these land speeders do more damage than these Tempests. And what's weird is these Tempests are a lot more expensive, but they do way less damage, which is interesting. Yeah, I got the Command Squad. The Command Squad I have mixed feelings on. I do think they're a utility unit. You can customize them. They have a lot of customization options, and they're a pretty good utility unit. Here at this point, I'm just grenading them over and over again. And the grenades still are great. You can also get smoke grenades, which like doubles your defense, which is really nice. So I do think the smoke grenades are viable too. And here I see the crew coming from the left side, so I know they have something over here on the left. Here at Tech Marine, I decided to let him fight, do his thing. And as you saw there at Commander, these commanders actually get the grenade upgrades, which is pretty useful. Here I get, here I'm starting to get Dark Angel stuff. I know it doesn't look like it. I'm starting to get Dark Angel vehicles. Going level 3, my economy is nuts. I gotta make more builders. Getting the Force Commander. My Tech Marine died. But my Tech Marine died to Croots, I guess. But yeah, my broadside. That looks cool. Look like Terminators. It's really cool looking. But What was I gonna say? Yeah, I got Dark Angels. Starting to make Dark Angel stuff. These things here, these Land Speeder Vengeance. These Land Speeder Vengeance are nuts. They're so good.
Command in the name of the Emperor.
These are unbelievably good. They're probably one of Space Marine's best vehicles. And I think this building here was added recently. So this is actually a new vehicle. This new vehicle here is really, really strong. I think at this point I'm trying to micro my army, micro my economy, and trying to tier up. So I'm trying to micro a bunch of stuff. As you can see here, this replay doesn't have that much more time to it. It's almost over. But yeah, these Land Speeder Tempests, they're at full health, and I still don't think they paid off. They just did next to nothing. So I don't think these Land Speeders paid off at all. And here's my command squad. The command squad is pretty cool. They're a lot less tanky than I thought they'd be. For a command squad, I thought they'd be like super tanky, but oh well. Dreadnought with like a sword or something. That's cool. See, even with all this, the wall's taking a while. See, it looks like these are anti-vehicle. This is what I mean by that Apothecary being amazing. Apothecary just standing his ground. It's not shooting these rockets. I wonder if those rockets are for show, or they had to be closer to activate them. And I do think Space Marine's endgame is fully maxed out commanders. Fully maxed out commanders is definitely Space Marine endgame. So I'm trying to upgrade my commanders now, which isn't cheap. So I'm waiting till like level 4, level 5 to upgrade my commanders. It's not a cheap thing to do at all. Here I get the beacon. The beacon gives you orbital strikes, and it also gives you a aura of damage boost. So if you're next to the beacon, it gives you a damage boost. The beacon's just a really solid building overall. The orbital strikes are really nice, and just everything it gives you is really, really nice. So here I try to end the game. Pretty cool army, I think.
Knights of the Deathwing are among you now.
I reached my vehicle population cap, but if you guys know, you can upgrade your commanders, and you can increase the cap. I think the most it can go is like 42 or 44, some weird number like that.
My faith is my shield.
Here I'm trying to put some points into my commander, mostly defense. I want my commanders to be super tanky. And I decided not to get the jetpack, because the jetpack's just a huge pain. The jetpack makes your commanders faster than your squad. So I decided not to get the jetpack. First Land Raider of the game. There's like a million Land Raiders you can make. So I just picked the Crusader. The Crusader says it's pure anti-infantry, which is what I wanted. I got plenty of these Land Speeder Vengeance are anti-everything. So I got plenty of and the Devastators are anti-vehicle. So I think I got plenty of anti-vehicle. So I needed a Land Raider that was anti-infantry. Especially against Tau. You you really need anti-infantry against Tau. And it looks like the Inquisition pretty much recovered. Yeah, I've been really enjoying these new vehicles. They got a jump ability. They are pretty fragile, so that's something to look out for. They die in like 2 rockets, so that's something you really gotta watch out for. And they're not cheap at all. I think each one's like 200 or 300 around there. They're not cheap at all. You can't spam them, and they're really good. And here's just a really nice endgame assault, which just looks really good. The higher tier up, if you're like tier 4, tier 5, I think the more detailed your guys get, your soldiers. So the higher my tier, the more detailed everybody's getting. So yeah, pretty nice. Everybody's getting more and more detailed. And yeah, I thought that was pretty good replay, because that was like a 1v2 basically. And I think I won most of my fights because the enemy was out of position. Something I learned from multiplayer and story mode is upgraded listening posts are super overpowered. Upgraded listening posts are super overpowered. So if you fight these guys out of position, it's a pretty easy win. And yeah, I think I was tier 3 or tier 4. Oh no, I was definitely tier 4. And I think at tier 5 you can start building your Titans and your nukes. So I think pretty soon I'm going to be building some nukes and all that. And I think at tier 5 you get Terminators. So I don't think I can make Terminators until tier 5. So yeah, as you can see here, the tier 5 is 1500, which isn't too bad. It does require that you build these buildings, and the build time on these buildings are pretty brutal. So building this took so long that I should have been level 5 already, but it just takes so long to build this. And what do I have in here? Or does it not show me? No, it doesn't show me. It's probably a commander. I usually put commanders in here. And yeah, no like super dreadnought, nothing crazy like that. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. I am gonna record a second one, so look forward to that. And yeah, and I decided to make this. Because I don't have any videos planned for a while. I don't really have any video plans right now. Besides the video series, I did pretty much everything I wanted to do. So yeah, I have no real plans right now. So I'm just gonna make these skirmish videos for a day or two. I only play Space Marine and Guard. The other factions just feel really janky to me, so I only play Space Marine and Guard. And yeah, that's gonna do it for this one. Alright, bye.